Hey, good morning, or afternoon, or whatever it is. Mate, Telescope, Woof, Aussie Boy, and Xing Xing Mufashu. Nice to see you all. So I am reviewing a PR from Damien, which converts the nuxt image component to an SFC. Hey Jan, and thank you for the sponsorship. I appreciate that. And Deej, hello. Good to see you. Kira, hi. And Bali, yes, Bali is on the bed actually. Don't know if you can see her, but she's just like there. Is the microphone gain has not changed, but it does seem to be on the loud side, so let's see what might be happening. Mic mode standard. YouTube, yes. Okay, let's see. Mic mode. Let me just check. It's coming in. Input volume. Yeah, that does seem high. Should it be halfway? Is that any better? Have I just made it super quiet? People still hear me okay? Seems okay, yeah. I think it's just full or not full, and then anyway. I do like Ghosty. Here it is. I've got it up. It's so fast. I really do. It feels super fast. Like it's nice. Love it. Boom. Okay. So it's too low. Too low. I have moved it up back to fully. Okay, I've made it a little bit less. Why this kind of thing changes, I do not know. I don't customize this at any, I don't ever change it. Okay, I will unplug my mic and replug it in again. Maybe that will reset it. Testing. Is it any better for you? Fine now. Crazy. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. So basically, this is just a very quick. What do I need to do? I think I'm just going to say base image props. I'm going to actually just do this. Okay, and we're just going to export image props from base. To prevent this from being a breaking change. And then we're just going to pull this in here like this. Sorry, I should say what I'm doing. So I'm reviewing this PR which converts this. Let's just stick that at the bottom. That makes a difference. Okay, which basically just it just converts nuxt image from a render function into an SFC, which should be easier for people to handle. So fix do not move export of image props. Boom. Cool. Okay, so everyone is on board. Stuff looks good. Okay. So what next. I think we can merge that once it's ready to go. Let's just take a look. There's also a similar Nuxt picture which we can review. And this one should, unfortunately this affects another, some other PRs, but oh well. Okay, so this is Nuxt picture. Might be a little bit more complicated. Okay, first I'll merge in latest changes from upstream. No, Ossiboy, I don't think it is a breaking change because it was already generic. So we already had, if you're looking at the props previously, we already had exactly the same props, and they've just been placed in here as defined props, like that. So the type is. So I don't think there is any particular change. Ooh, thank you. I should fix this somehow, maybe, so the Twitch reaction can actually be seen. There we go. Give it a bit of space. Right. So I think it's fine. Basically, I think it's non-breaking at this point. And might even improve some things. I did spot some things. I think we can improve the performance of Nuxt image a little. Nuxt picture, right? So one thing I like to do when I'm reviewing a PR is actually see all of the diff right with me, and I often just like revert the PR like this, which lets me see what the actual changes are here. So yes, we have the image HTML attributes. That's actually a good change. So that improves the type safety here a little bit. And good. Hey, Nuni. That is lovely to hear. And then what I can do is actually just open Nuxt picture in one, and Nuxt picture SFC in the other, and actually just sort of compare the difference, and this helps me. Oh, yeah, it shouldn't make any difference, and I prefer not to use TypeScript generic defined props in libraries because it adds to the compile time burden when you're using it in the project. Okay, so we have picture props. We're probably going to have to do exactly the same thing that I did a moment ago in base, and export those, and then just pull them in here. Not going to work. Oh, there's a weird bug right now with VS Code. Hey, welcome, come on, Case Crisis. And that is, you might notice the first time you open a file in VS Code, in a view file, no type checking. You have to actually restart, reload the window in order for Volar to pick up the and handle the types. I believe it's a VS Code bug. Rather than an issue with Vue language server, but it's a weird one. Okay, so we have all of these imports, and I guess those are mostly remaining the same. We have our props. Actually, we'll just use picture props here, and we'll do this. Also, boy, the thing is, we still have the right types inferred from them. So the fact that we're using the object here just improves performance at the end user project. So we don't need to, there's no benefit to using the type of picture props or something like that. I don't think, because Vue compiler would just convert them back to what we have at the moment. Cool. So we have this all seems to be the same. And yeah. Ooh. Okay, yeah. I think we need to import the other one as well. Okay, so rather than just picture props, we have image props. And we'll use that down here to avoid changing it. Okay. It all looks fine. It looks perfect. So great. We can push that as well. Oh, I should also check this bit here. And actually, we probably do want to pull these out so that we don't have them in the. We don't bind things that we don't need to. So basically, just pull that out like this, and say. Oops. Okay. Cool. And this also shouldn't be a dot value, I think. So it should just be. Oh no, it should. Why is base? Okay, well, this should be attrs. Where are we using it? Okay. We're going to say we just want this to be attrs, I guess, and we'll find out where we're using it. So we would do. We're also using options and modifiers. And let's actually change it. So we're making it explicit. So we'll call this base attrs, base options, modifiers, base modifiers. And then that makes it super clear. So we have also base options, which will pop down here, there. And then base modifiers. And y is picture props. Oh. Which is base image props. Is that right? Is that what it was doing before? Let me just check out origin main, source runtime, components, nuxt picture. And let's just have a quick look at it. What was it doing before? We had for const key base image props, yeah. Okay, so basically we've just made that a little bit better. Pull those out. Fix, refactor, pull out bindings from bind. Cool. And that hopefully should work for us. Good. Good. So I think we can merge them both. It might require a little bit of a cool. Oops. No, that's right. Okay, so let's merge this to start with. And then let's see if we need to resolve some merge conflicts. Yes, we do. So fair enough, we're going to merge like this. And we've got probably just 2 exports. Both changes, please. There we go. Super. Merged? Yeah, good. Yo, I think I missed this somehow, but thank you so much for that. Okay. Right. Nerexius, good to see you. Right, so we have some more polls, I think. I think this isn't passing. We'll have to see why. Let's see what the issue might be. Also, I should check out and see if there's anything that cool. Okay, so what else do we have? We have this PR, which I think we could update easily enough. Oh, so you asked about this PR here. So basically we're using import meta here. Though this PR is changing it. So we're running in a node environment. And import meta env in node is not a thing, I think. So let's not yet. Let me just test it, because so often I'm working in code which is transformed. So let's just do a very quick test, and we'll say index.mjs, and we'll say console log import meta.env. Okay, and we'll run it. We'll do node index.mjs undefined. So it's not a thing in node. Now it is a thing in Vite. So if you open up Vite, you have this import meta env, which basically is a feature that proxies process.env into a similar kind of thing. So it basically just doesn't work in Node. I think it might in future. So if we have a look at, it's possible that Node might expose it in future, for example, but it doesn't right now. So this is a case of where we use something in for example, Vite, and it makes us think that it really exists in an underlying environment, but it doesn't. Okay. Great. So we have those two refactors, which is really nice to see. Now we also have this dependency thing. I'm sorry, by the way, I'm just doing maintenance. So this might not be that interesting. This is what I would be doing normally. So this is giving me a interesting, some kind of mismatch of requests. So we're making duplicate requests, which is interesting. Is it only in directors? Nastrapi as well. Making lots of requests. So previously we only made like one for each, and now we're making two for each, which maybe suggests some kind of issue with view. Let's revert the view update. That's often a very good way of checking what might be the cause of something, if that is indeed what is the cause. So what were the changes? Did we have a view change? Yes. Okay, 28 to 38, that's a big change. Okay, let's revert to 28. And so we'll check out this patch. Hey, Horvat, nice to see you. Okay. Or it's Ballant. Ballant is your name, right? Horvat is your surname. Right. Oh, and Jan Niklas, good to see you. Okay, what am I doing here? I am wanting to prove the... Well, it's Hungarian, of course, right? And so surname comes first. I just, yeah. Sometimes it takes a moment to sort of, well, yeah, people call me Ro as well, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so we have here view. I'm going to revert it back to the older version, and to avoid because obviously this PR has updated a lot of things. So I'm avoiding that by checking out the original lock file and then re-updating it after I've made this change to keep the view version here. Hey Rigora, nice to see you. You might not see Rigora if you are, or Martin if you are, ooh, weird. macOS has chosen to put me a thumbs up in my video, which I really do not like. Why is it doing that? Oh, I also seem to be still on, have I frozen for people? Am I still there? That would be Mac doing something evil. So let's just see. Okay, I know I'm frozen. Let's see how we can turn off this reaction thing, because I'm guessing that's what's caused this. So turn off reactions. Okay. And I guess I might have to weird. Not entirely sure what to do there. Let's try this. let's try restarting the camera. Not doing a great deal, is it? Super weird. This is crazy, isn't it? Why would it do that? Okay, portrait. What are these things? Reactions. Madness. Okay. Studio light. Ugh. You might have just lost me. That might be what it is. I'm just gone now. You could get me on... Is that going to... This is so weird. Okay, so somehow this is obviously a thing. Thank you, Dove Panda. You can definitely come back. I honestly, I don't know a solution here other than probably restarting my streaming thing, but that would probably break it. Like everyone would have to. Would you be able to just stay on? I'm not sure. Yeah, you can listen to the voice in the box. And yeah, if you want, you can definitely from time to time see that. Crazy. I think there's something weird going on with this camera. And I guess it's probably somehow an OBS issue, and probably the only way of handling that is to... I'll try adding a new capture device, seeing if that makes a difference. It doesn't. It just doesn't have access to the video anymore. Yeah, you saw some cables. Great. I could actually just try and do that for now. That would probably let's see if I can actually make that work. Can you hear some weird sounds? I'm basically precariously balancing my phone in a way that will hopefully pull in me. Ta-da. Okay, I'm back. It's a different camera. This is just my normal iPhone. It might look a bit weird. Okay, so what are we doing? We updated the log file. Let's just see chore revert view update and see if this makes a difference. Because it feels like this isn't a nuxt image change. The failure we're seeing, that feels like these duplicate requests feel like it's probably a view issue, which we need to investigate. But I want to basically reduce this to a minimum of changes. So if we can figure out why, we want to change a minimum of things required to reproduce the issue. And if it's just a view update, then it should be pretty simple to figure out what might have changed, for example. Ooh. Okay, so there are some duplicates there, but it feels like only one issue. Let's see if we are passing in CI. Well, there's somehow just a flaky thing. Could also be playwright or something like that. It could be like a test. We're detecting an issue, or there's some like test in browser environment that's a little bit different. So we should definitely check and see if it's this view update in CI or just locally. Also, this is interesting. Why would Happy DOM? Is that going to be a similar? So it's just Happy DOM updating, and we're getting a lot of differences here. Although this might be a formatting issue rather than anything else. Okay, so I think Happy DOM, this is just, we update snapshots. Here, let's see. And I think we can go ahead and actually review this because it's such a small diff, it's unlikely to be conflicted by the change. So we'll just install and update the snapshots. Hey, nice to see you. GW Lab. Frozen Spirit, nice to see you. So yeah, this is about chilling out with me as we do some maintenance. We are not doing a huge amount of stuff. So I'm looking at nuxt image. There's some good stuff coming in from Damien. We have a few fixes and patch, and we're going to release this at least as a patch release soon. I also have a nuxt patch I want to release, so I might have a look at a few things there, and I want to look at some nuxt build directory issues, and maybe some more stuff for version 4. Yes, I'm very well, Frozen Spirit. Thank you. Okay, so we updated that snapshot shouldn't update. Okay, why did that update in CI then? Happy DOM is complaining here. Because, oh, AMP. Eduardo, nice to see you. This new hipster platform, join it, join us, Eduardo. It's fun. Okay, so this is not passing still. So the view update is obviously, oh no, it passed. So it's just the type check, and now we have an issue for Semver, which is, this is super not an issue. That's okay, that's great. Okay, so we're going to go back and finish off that before coming back to Happy DOM. And we basically just would experience test types as a thing. Hey, Rexant, Dominic, nice to see you. And Andre. Yeah, Eduardo, you should definitely get in on it. I use Restream to sort of, so basically I stream to Algora, and then, how do I do? The other way around. I stream to Restream, and Restream streams to Algora. Is that right? No, I think I stream to Algora. I don't remember. You can set it up. There's a frequent asked question. But basically, Algora is sort of agglomerates everything and syncs the chat, and so it's pretty nice. Which means, of course, that people who want to use something like YouTube can easily do that. They don't need to join on Twitch or whatever. And Algora is a great platform, and they're great people as well. Hey Q, nice to see you, and Nick. Yes, it's all about the peer pressure. So Eduardo needs to be pressurized. Now, why? let's just have a quick check at nuxt RC. We shouldn't need that anymore. So why would we have... Is this just semver doesn't have proper types? I guess it doesn't. Oh, do we build it first? And we want the change like we can just declare. Is there a... Okay, let's see what our semver situation is. Do we have types? We don't have types, that's why it doesn't work. So we're just going to have to say shims declare module semver. There we go. And why is this complaining? What's our CI? Let's try building and then testing it. Biggest pet peeve. So tagging moderator doesn't actually bother me that much because I would probably look for it anyway. But it bothers the moderators who are there to make Discord a safe place. And yeah. Okay. I really don't need that. I'm not sure why these other things are erroring. I don't think this change, which is now default, should make a difference to those other. What is the what's the error I'm getting? Only that, right? Okay, so I think it's just fix. Is there a types semver? Maybe there is. Maybe that's what it is all along. Let's try that instead. Yeah, we're good again. Okay, so it is just... Maybe what it was that some other library had pulled it in and now isn't pulling it in, and that's why we need to add it manually ourselves. Maybe that's why there's a difference here. Remove explicit bundler resolution as it's now default. Okay. Islam, nice to see you. Thanks. What's my biggest pet peeve when debugging? My biggest pet peeve when debugging is probably when I lose track of what I'm doing, or when there are too many things that I'm trying to solve at the same time. I am really looking forward to visiting Prague. Now, things aren't fully confirmed yet. I know the conference is still getting going. So if you want to go, you should definitely let them know, so they know that there are more people interested. I absolutely use light mode when I'm outside because it makes it easier for me to see the screen. But inside, and if it's not too bright, then dark mode is definitely what I prefer. So just personal preference. Ionic, yeah, I think it's good. There's some interesting native script view, I think. you could check out as well. But Ionic is what I would lean to myself. And there is, just to say, there is a nuxt Ionic module, which I maintain. And so, yeah, there is that. So you can get going pretty straightforwardly. And look at Capacitor and Tauri if you're looking to basically wrap an existing web app. Ionic provides more stuff like web components that integrate with, that can be native effectively or feel very native, so you can get going with that. Okay, what about Happy DOM? Great. Yeah, Capacitor is fantastic. And yes, I'm very much looking forward to being in Prague. I would like to go, even if, yeah, I would like to go for sure. Mate, does the alias not work for dynamic imports? Oh, I see a sort of Vite glob equivalent. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be at ViewFest Japan this year. The timing didn't work out for me. And also, they might not have said yes, but the timing didn't work out. And so, okay, so what are we getting? What is the error? Okay, we're still getting all of these. That's weird, because that's flaky. So it's basically now throwing that error, but it was passing before. So that means there's some kind of flake going on. What is the... I wonder what the... So it's probably not a view issue. It's probably a testing issue, and it probably is a bad test. So what is the error that's throwing? Let's look at the first run. So we have a snapshot and we say should render images. Okay, so should render images is our test, and it is SSR false in all cases, interestingly. Okay, so why? Okay, it's saying we should probably move the test options out. It's the second argument. Okay, interesting. So they want us to do this. Fair. And we can do the same, like probably an SSR test also is required, where we pull this out and stick it in. So our second option. Sure. Update option for new syntax. Capacitor and Tauri are basically very, very similar. They basically take a web app and they wrap them. And one of them uses Chromium and one of them uses Rust. And the whatever native browser is already installed. So Tauri is much smaller. Capacitor is much more tested. So I'm much more used. Tauri is much newer. And they only recently shipped support for mobile apps. This is so weird. Okay, so basically should render images. So what is the should render images doing? We have the page root. Okay. Flaky tests are awful, aren't they? Yeah, absolutely. So we have this. So is the issue we're basically. So we have providers, and then we have some kind of. Okay, so say we have IPX. So no, providers, something. Playground providers. No. Provider. Yeah, playground, provider, provider. Okay, so we're going here, and it's suggesting that we have got, oh, I wonder if it's the preload behavior. I bet it's the preload behavior which is causing this. If I basically said, are we testing that? Okay, when we added this, let's see, line history. When we added this, here was the PR, and I want to see if we added a test that also meant we added that is why we added this to the playground, because obviously we did add it to the playground. So we have, okay, we added it to the playground. We did not, in fact, change the, okay, so let's get rid of that. Although it still raises the question, like it shouldn't, but like I want to see if that resolves it, and then we have to figure out, is there any point in doing that? Basically, we probably shouldn't preload if we have SSR false, right? Because it only makes sense when you have, because by this point it already discovers it. So we probably want to have something like preload. So if we have this, then we basically add the preload here. That only makes sense. Or I think we only want to do it on the server side, right? Because otherwise, we're already at the image and the browser will already download it. Yeah? So let's just, let's see, DB block file. And then let's not revert that change and just say fix only preload images on server. Okay. Oh, we probably need to do the same for nuxt picture too. Or does it have a preload? It does. Import meta server and pops preload. And I'm actually just going to revert that last change and do them both together. Let's see. I hope that is going to resolve the issue. which is it's interesting, isn't it? Also means we probably should revert the view update Flaky tests are often, they actually are very helpful. They probably reveal a bug. Almost always. Whenever I have a flaky test, there's almost always something that I've done wrong in my project which is causing the flaky test. It's almost not, it's like it's easy to write it off as being a test problem, but most often it's a code problem, I think. Cool. So I love my little rerun script. So basically it lets me do something like this. So basically I'm running this against the nuxt commit here. And there's a failing test, which is here. And so I can actually rerun it like that if I want, because it looks like it's a flaky test. It's not actually a flaky test. As it happens, I need to trim it out when updating the changelog. But it makes it so much easier for me to rerun flaky tests like that. So obviously, the flaky tests are enough part of my life that I wrote a CLI to help make my life a bit better. A bit embarrassing, but I'm afraid I've already had 2 mugs full of coffee, and so I'm now on to tea. So this is tea, my tea mug. I always actually, I'm a creature of habit, so my silver mug is tea, and I have a black mug, which is actually so battered and worn it's turning silver, like all the paint is flaking off. But that's my coffee mug, and it stops the sort of flavor from going between the tea and the coffee, which I wasn't a massive fan of. Okay, so the good news is it's working. It's working, people. So I think that's probably our problem, is the preload link. And this is actually a real fix. In fact, it's enough of a real fix that it probably makes sense not to do it as part of the chore, as part of this steps update. So what I would tend to do is I'll just pull the commit here. I'll switch to main, and I'll add it as a separate commit by cherry picking it. And then we basically have an entry in the changelog, which is very, very useful. So now we still have this as a separate thing, which is good. We can update our deps. And now that's not showing as shouldn't show as a, well, it won't actually end up showing as part of the diff. So there we go. Update all non-major dependencies. Merged. And now let's see, I bet now Happy Dom is going to be happier. Because I think ultimately the issue was that one. So cool. Yes. You know what time it is. It's cat love time. Oh, JD, I only just spotted your thing. So the camera setup is more I was forced. So this is actually just my phone rather than my actual camera, and it's because my computer or OBS, macOS basically added a thumbs up, added a reaction to my camera stream, which seemed to break it, so it just doesn't work anymore, which is a total pain. So when I try and switch to my cam link, it's just black. So I'm afraid you're stuck with this. And Twitch, I'm still on Twitch. So I'm using Restream to stream to Twitch, LinkedIn, and just Twitch and Algora. And so basically, Algora sort of is a pretty cool streaming platform. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of open source streamers end up using not just fluff in the tail, but fluff in my mouth as well. End up using Algora to stream because they're really, really thinking things through. They have a very cool set of infrastructure. It's very sort of targeted to open source maintainers. So, for example, there's actually ads, hopefully in a non-intrusive kind of way, which appear every now and then, and hopefully that's make people use it. Okay. Yes. They also have cool things like bounties that people can code. I'm having to pat the cat with my feet. Oh, no, not passing. Okay, so but it's the ampersands that are the problem. So let's see if I can fix that locally. Hey, Turkish Minecraft legends. Cool. And anything going on there? Just mewing. She is very sweet, but she is extremely entitled. She wants to be loved. She wants to be loved. Yeah, I would very much appreciate not making my stream a place for verdicts on countries. Ugh. How did I show my Node version in terminal? I'm using something. I use. Actually, I need to probably get this set up for. So I use ZSH, and basically and Starship as well, and basically ZSH has different sort of like modules that you can put in. And yeah, so I can show you how that works. I hear good things about FNM. I use Mies. Rerun is actually a little CLI that I just wrote the other day, which looks like this. I've not open sourced it because it's very sort of specific to me right now. And I'm very much hoping that it doesn't have my token in it. No, it's in .env. But basically, it has this little CLI, and it pulls in like from GitHub, like the list of most recent test failures, and then finds out what the makeup is, how many failed, how many didn't fail, and then it lets me rerun them, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we updated some of these with amps. Interesting. Okay. That's the only change, so this is not a big deal. I'm getting a lot of love from the cat, who is basically co-opting my hand to be, yeah. Is that nice? I don't know what you mean by English or Spanish, but I speak English only. Cool. Okay, and exactly, the cat is always going to win. Chris, are you Chris Brewer? Chris Brewer? Or some other Chris B? I'm optimistic. Come on, people. Another Chris. Well, you are very welcome, Chris. Cat is going onto the bed. Chris is, I wouldn't say you're common. You might be. I am not, in fact. Okay, so yes, nuxt. So nuxt image handles generating a source set and then letting the browser pick the right image to display on different screens. So you should be totally. Mady, thank you. That's very kind. So you should be fine. You should be fine to. Yeah, popular, abundant. Those are good good terms. So yeah, you should be fine. You need to pass the. She really does not like being. She needs to be cuddled. The cuddles are required. Yeah, sorry if you thought I was going to do maintenance today. Nope, I'm afraid I'm just going to have to pet the cat. That's what's happening today. So Epiphany, you should just basically switch to next image and it generates the right source set and the browser picks the right size of image. And you immediately get better Lighthouse scores. You do need to pass an explicit height and width to the image, so next image knows how to scale it. But apart from that, you should be good. Okay, great, we are good to go now that the snapshots have been updated here. And it is just swapping out AMP, so no other changes. It's not a big deal. And a few more things I think we can merge. So we've got the rotate. Okay, I trust Damien if he says the. Yeah. Exactly. I'm a professional cat petter. Okay, let's update this one. Should be straightforward enough. I'm just going to pop over here, merge the latest changes into the branch. Not that. This. Delete file, and we have nuxt image process dot okay. Those get merged in as well. I think that was the only change Damien made in those files. Let's just check. Yeah. And then we also have to origin main, basically revert the PR for everything but the runtime folder. So basically these two files, fix revert non-runtime changes. That should be good to go. Beautiful. Also, we shouldn't be doing this. So what we can do here is use import meta dev. And here as well. Okay, we're going to just replace this import meta dev directly and do the same here. And also here. Cool. Fix use import meta dev and anything else. Cool. What benefits? So it means that you get the benefit of view compile time optimization for the SFC. So it's almost always better, unless you feel like you can fully optimize your component using render functions. It's often better to do SFCs and let Vue take control of that. So also it's easier for people to deal with a project or and like to contribute to it, because it's just like a normal SFC that they're used to seeing. But it's I didn't change it because it was a profoundly significant change. It shouldn't make a huge difference to people. Okay, so that change should mean cool. Oops. I think we can merge this one as well, although it will need merging because obviously this was a change in the render function version of this. Okay, yeah, one-handed development, absolutely. IPX, yeah, we need to update. Like, there's a new major version of IPX that we haven't been able to use so far because of binary issues on different platforms, and hopefully we'll be ready to fix that pretty soon. I am going to take a brief break to grab another cup of tea, and I will be back in just a sec. So don't leave, I will return. Okay, I am back. And this is passed. Wonderful. So we can merge that in. And good stuff. Okay, so now we have a few more things that I think we can do. Right. Now this is actually, I'm not sure this is required, but basically I've neglected to merge it because I believe I can provide a different solution for Mark. Okay, but we do want this nuxt picture placeholder. So for a start, I'm just going to approve and run so we can see whether the tests were passing before I do any merging. And by the way, the cat is right here next. So I basically can't type with that one hand. So we're going to do the best we can do. I can type with the other one. So this is one-handed. Maybe I can somehow. Joaquin, hello, nice to see you. Okay, so what we delete it, and then we're gonna have to open nuxt picture and manually add in the changes. So the changes were basically, we have two more props, placeholder and placeholder class, get pulled into here, like that. And then we also have placeholder loaded after is transparent. This is so awkward. The cat. Okay. Placeholder loaded. Then we have main source after last source index. And then we have placeholder down here before image L. Cool. And then we have unmounted here. And then we have, interesting, then we have our source up here, and there's some more stuff to obviously fix down there. So we basically have this. Ugh. And then we have our source sizes and source set are a little bit different in our image. So we basically do this again, and okay. We'll drop the dot values because we're in our template. Cool. And then we have, what else? Oh, then we have our sort of base modifiers. You should be very impressed how I'm managing to do this with a cat on my keyboard. Okay, and we also have emit. Cool. So I think, okay. I think that basically these are the changes. So this is the correct merge. So we don't want to change anything else. We just want to merge it in. And commit. And just let's check whether we are passing with our current CI. We were. Okay, so we're going to push our merge, and we basically need a test for this. Cool. So the merge looks correct. We need received onload event. So we basically have. Hey Bobby, good to see you. So we basically, yes, cat. Hi. Actually, you should look at her. She is beautiful. There we go. Cat in the frame. Maybe we should somehow. Can I tilt it down? Let's be honest. Right. Definitely make for better. Getting a very good close-up view. Okay, so yes. Right, I think Barley, I'm going to kick you out. Back to the bed. Back to the bed. Right, okay, so what we're doing, we need to basically add some tests for this. I think we do test for events. So we have, so why would we have a display never? Hey Marvel Scorpion. Oof. We do events, right? We do test for this. Okay, so basically we probably have some tests already in here. Yes. Event. Yeah, so we basically we have those. And we should do that for, okay, so we have events. Has that been changed? No, this is just picture. You want to go? Okay, so we have, yeah, we would want this to be in the events thing, right? Okay, so we want to have, wait a second, what is this? We already have placeholder behavior, right? This is weird. I'm so sorry, everyone. That came up very suddenly. I appreciate the blessing. Okay, so previously we had nuxt picture, and did we do anything with placeholders? We didn't. So putting that in there didn't do anything, I guess. So now we have the placeholder. Okay. Well, let's just check and see that it does in fact work as expected, and then we'll figure out how to add a test for it. Problem with getting a new cup of tea is that it's basically hotter than the surface of the sun for a very, very long time after getting it. Cool. Oh yes, I do want to do that. Okay, so we have this. Michelle, hello. Okay, go away. So we basically have. Oh, next picture. Cool. Seems good. And the previous behavior was, what to say, fix handle undefined source. Go back to main. Not sure. Add compatibility date. And you're right, it does cool much more rapidly, but I've got to say that I don't want it to cool rapidly. I want, like this way, my tea keeps for over an hour hot in the thing. I love it. Blur hash, yeah, it's probably very good. The difficulty is it would be a, like I think there's more we can do in the way of it's like static optimization in nuxt image. Yeah, that is also true. Okay, so what am I doing? I basically, let's see, pull. I just want to see like what is our previous behavior. Oh, events, I guess. Yeah, there's no placeholder at all. Yeah, okay. So this is just clearly a very good solution, right? So now we have a placeholder. Cool. Great. Good stuff. Now I push that, I guess. I think actually now placeholder could probably be abstract because it's used in both places. We could probably abstract it, right? So I think we have got our base and we have options, attrs, and modifiers. And now if we have in next image, placeholder is this. Let's just try this. So if we move that into base and we say, here's our placeholder, and we have placeholder loaded, seems to be also basically we have placeholder and placeholder class are now in both places. They can be part of the base image props. And then we have, Okay, and we have more dependencies. We have this base options and base modifiers. Oh, which is actually modifiers here and options. Cool. So this actually works quite well. So we have our placeholder and the placeholder loaded. Where else is that used? So it is used in the attrs. Okay, so we're going to drop placeholder, pull it in from base image. Cool. And I guess we also want the placeholder loaded. Has to be there. So we want to pull out and then just placeholder. And then we have placeholder value. And then up here, we just pull out. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so basically this works for nuxt image. Hey, thank you, Ian. That's really nice of you. So yeah, that's really nice. I appreciate it. Okay, so we have nuxt picture now, and I want to check that the placeholder implementation is the same because it might not be. I would expect it would be, but let's just check. So we're expecting that as our placeholder implementation. So we're just going to copy and paste that in here and see if it's the same or not. The answer is, it is, which is good. So it does make sense to abstract this, and which will basically save a lot of code. Okay, so we have base, and we'll pull out placeholder and placeholder loaded, and pull that out. Great. And the thing that's going to say, yeah. Cool. So great. So I think factor share placeholder behavior. Move placeholder behavior into use base image. We could also have like a use placeholder or something like that. But I don't think there's any, like we're doing it by default, so. Cool. That's cool. I add Doyen. Barav, what would you learn first? Backend role. Python seems good. Could learn Go. Yeah, JavaScript is pretty good, even for the backend. And Sean, or Shanat Cole. Yeah, welcome. Okay, so my only wonder is actually if we could if this unmounted stuff could actually be abstracted into the same thing. And then maybe we don't even need placeholder loaded to be separate. Okay, so let's have a look. So basically we have unmounted. So we can pull out, let's see, next image. We have unmounted, and this is our placeholder behavior. And so we basically stick this in here, unmounted. And actually we could just do this. And we have main source. That's the thing, right? So we then have to also do sizes. Sizes is based on some props. So this starts becoming a much more complicated thing. Okay, let's not handle that. So we have already split out the differing behavior here. Would I use Z as a challenge? What kind of challenge? Like, tell me. Oh, it's is it rainy in Newcastle? Okay. It is not. It's not rainy. It is gloriously sunny. I'll show you what it's like. Oh, well, I say gloriously sunny, which means like it's cloudy. But there is sun. There's definitely sun. So yeah, that's what it's like out here. Definitely not too grim at the moment. No, not too grim at all. There we go. Sure. Okay, so I think this is good to go. If tests are passing, oh no, I needed to add a test, right? Don't let me do that. Don't let me merge stuff without tests, people. I hold you responsible. So we've added this to the so we have picture. Do we have picture tests? So what we want is to say nuxt image. Do I have an image? No, I do. I have an image. I have placeholder behavior. So I've got some stuff. Great. Okay, placeholder image, props, placeholder sizes. So okay, lots of stuff. Let's just port that across to picture, and it doesn't say anything about that. Let's keep it in a roughly the same order. Renders. Applies module. There it's here. So we basically want this to happen, but for placeholders. And so next picture. And what we want to do is say, what is get image load? Okay, we have get image load here, which is a little helper function, which I think we should probably pull out into a helper. And we'll pull in vi. No idea why that is not working. Okay, and then we're going to import. Oopsie doopsie. We're going to import that into here. I think this is going to be the same thing. But anyway, we can. Cool. And that will actually just import from And let's try using that then in our picture test suite as well. We'll rename it to helpers. Yeah, I'd be up for trying Z. But I mean, I think probably wouldn't be a very good, because I'm very familiar with my setup at the moment. Also, because JetBrains have sent me like a nice thermos and hoodie, I should probably give them a go as well on stream. Not that I can be bought with swag, but maybe I can. Okay, reload window. Way to differentiate API requests made directly to the server with internal requests. So Rogaro, what you want to use is event fetch. So you can use request fetch, or you can use event $fetch. Well, what kind of swag? Maybe I want some swag. But I'm friendly even if you don't send me swag. You don't need to send swag. It's not required. Just make me look. It was bought with swag. I have my favorite water bottle is this one. So this is my favorite water bottle, and I've got to say it is very strongly branded, but it is amazing. I take it to the gym with me. It is very, very cool. Nuxt swag, absolutely. We need Nuxt swag. We really, really need Nuxt swag. So we want to say this is our HTML picture element, because we want to make this more generic. And I think that should be fine. So cool. So basically we want to be able to say, now we're complaining, right? We could take it as a we could actually just say, wait for a load, oh, come on. Pull this in like that, and then do the same for image. It is so nice, isn't it? Let's see. Yes. Okay, so you need Nuxt water bottles for sure. And Daniel, the reason I'm at a different angle is basically that my camera feed died, and I can't like reset it, I think, without actually ending the stream and then restarting it again. I didn't want to do that. Yes, no more hydration issues for sure. Okay, so API endpoint that returns an image from cloud storage. Image not found. Yeah, maybe a custom provider would do it. Yeah. Or, yeah, try a custom provider as a first step, Evan. Okay, so let's see. So our test suite should get image load. All of the get image loads here should be HTML image element. Okay, so that should be fine. We now need to run our picture. So we're going to run vtest a picture, and that can just run in the background. So that should all work fine, except for this placeholder bit. So what I would want to see is placeholder image dot. What should it have? It doesn't have a source. The placeholder image. Okay, what is it resolving? Image resolve and load event. So we have get image load, and it's returning image as and then okay, I think I made a mistake in abstracting this too early. I think I want to do... No, I think that is how it's working in picture, right? So next picture we have a new image. That is what we're doing. Okay. So, but we're changing the main source. Whereas the next image, we are changing the image source. Whereas the main source here, oh no, we are changing that. Okay, so I think the first thing that I want to do is just see what expect placeholder image to match online snapshot. Wait a second. Okay, so this is fine. So it does have a source. It might just be, but it's always going to be resolve the image element. Okay, so that's possibly fine. Deej, you're absolutely right. We should just if to remove confusion among for any other reason. Yeah. A cal.com, that would be incredible. That would be amazing. That would be so kind. Because I do, yeah, anyway. But you really don't need to. I'm still a massive fan of cal.com. Okay, so we have... Okay, so what's not everything is passing actually. No, stuff's not passing. Okay, we need to update our, so that's the final version, so that's not the placeholder. So that's the first thing. And then the second is the placeholder class needs to be set. Okay, so this is very, very reasonable. But the problem is it's resolving on the image. We actually need to resolve the picture element, which is probably why this isn't working. So I'm just going to stick this down here, and we are actually just going to, for the moment, probably revert the changes to image. And we're just going to edit this all inline. Okay, so we want to have... Okay, so we have our get image load, and we want to say this is actually get picture load, and we are going to just use picture element. And there we go. So we want our get picture load to, it needs to what are we wanting to test with it? We want to test that no? Let's just look at class can be set. So basically we're mounting next picture, we have our class, and then okay, so we have our class list. Placeholder class is never used. So basically, this is a bug in the implementation because we never handle it, right? So we need to do that. We basically need to do exactly the same as we did for nuxt image and have a class, which is that. And so we say that. Boom. Okay, why is... Oh, I see, because it's undefined. So it needs to be default to an empty string. There we go. No? I guess placeholder class does default to an empty string. So should it default to null? We could do it with object syntax. So basically say props placeholder class is going to be oh, should just be, it shouldn't be props. So, and it should also be, okay, this is quite a lot of wrongness. Okay, so, but that's interesting. Why is nuxt image like that? So that should be, oh, for goodness sake. Okay, placeholder and placeholder class. And we could probably do the same kind of object syntax. So a lot of stuff is fit. It's all this. Why is this adding an empty class? Is that what I would expect with Vue? James, thank you. Oh, Bobby, you're right. It's not. Sometimes this happens, it seems, on Algora, and I don't know why. That it doesn't update, but I do still see it because I also keep Restream Chat in Vue. I'm just going to turn off Algora Chat and put Restream Chat on. That's really big. So just actually, I'll keep both on for the moment because sorry about that. Just in case. So hopefully, yeah, there you are. You're appearing. You're appearing. I'm just going to make sure both appear on the screen because it is a pain. So sorry about that. Okay, so hopefully people can still show up. What am I wanting? I'm wanting to figure out why this is rendering. Oh, it's because of the empty string, right? Or basically something like I don't get why this isn't. Okay, I'm opening a Vue playground. So play, and I want to see like, okay, if I'm rendering an image with a class and it's like that, I want to see whether this is rendering me an empty class or not. So I should be able to see that command. It should appear in here. And I should have, it does, it renders an empty class. So if I say null, then it shouldn't render me an empty class, right? No, it still does. So we have to do v-binding. What about undefined? Nope, still there. Does anyone know a secret way of stopping it from rendering the attribute, the class attribute? What about, how would we do that? An empty array. Good thought. I'm not convinced that that will work either. Oops. Let's see. No. That's weird. It's definitely weird, isn't it? Like this is the behavior. This is, I wonder if it's different in production. Nope. You would think. Are you hearing? Foji, nice to see you. It's been a long time. Empty string. I don't think that will do it. Still there. I think the v-bind will. I think you're right. I think that is probably the only thing that will do it. So basically, because we're not binding a class at all. But what I don't know is whether that is going to work with class merging. Like, will Vue properly merge that with other classes? Like, we can try it. We can give it a go. Because I mean, it's straightforward just to move it into vbind, but it is it's weird. Like I wouldn't have expected this behavior. So we'll do that. So we'll basically say wait, what do we, and okay, we can try that. And we'll probably want to do, we'll need to do the same here. Sorry, in nuxt image rather. Like, I guess that. And we'll need to stick that in. The problem is that overrides attributes. Okay, so you're saying it still works. Cool. Right, so that should now be passing the class thing. Anyway, good. So our class is working. Now we need to have a look at, whoa. Okay. Rigora, it might be that if the cookie is set on the outgoing headers, it might not be on the incoming headers. And if you're checking on the server middleware for the cookie on the incoming headers, you also probably need to check on the outgoing headers, because that means that the request has already been done. Oh, vbind class null. That's even simpler. So we can basically say something like, less in the way of ifs. Bit simpler, right? Cool. Okay, so we also, so now we need to look at these other tests that are failing. So we want to see why, this is why it's so good to add tests, right? Because this would totally not have worked. There would have been no placeholder class. So, okay, so Balint, you're saying it might be that that's an interesting question. So if we raise that as a bug, it might be a bug. Maybe we can even fix it today. Right. So this is still image load. So what's not working? So our source isn't loading as I expect. So placeholder class can be set and props placeholder. Okay, so basically we have this and, oh, I see, we're looking for the image attribute. And we have, the issue is we have picture, so it's a picture attribute. It's okay, so basically what we should be looking for is the sources. And we should, let's only do this, please. And let's only do this. Okay. So just check that we're doing that. Yeah. So we are looking for a source with sizes and source set. And the last source, so yeah, the last source should, okay. So we're basically expecting the source to have, I think we do the type, right? Type, and we expect hey Esteban and Damien, and yeah, okay, so right, so what we're saying is first snapshot 1, we want to have no sources displaying, and image should be placeholder image. So what we would want is to be something like so source type, and we would say and then we would want placeholder image, which is coming from that should be what we're looking for. Okay, so placeholder image should match a nice snapshot. And then we're looking for source type. And hey Miguel, nice to see you. Okay, so this is maybe a bug. Should not be full size. Okay. That's good. So we have a to-do. And now we need to investigate why that is. So let's see. Let's just assume it is a bug. So we basically want, oh no, the source, we have nuxt image. So we should be displaying the placeholder is what we should be displaying. And so let's just see what that ends up being. It should be that, right? So we would expect that it should be that. That's the thing that we're looking for. Good afternoon, Nesta. Nice to see you. Sorry for the double chat, but Algora stopped displaying chats from Restream, so. Okay, so we have our placeholder value. Let's just remove the placeholder loaded, so it's never being marked as loaded. Yeah. And it's still not displaying the correct thing. So where is placeholder loaded used? Ah. Yeah. Interesting. So this is saying, so it might be that we're checking the wrong thing here. So we are pulling in the placeholder image source, and we are returning image when onload occurs. What is happening here when onload occurs? So when hi Floco, that's the issue, right? So basically here we have this kind of behavior. And here, I think we basically need to do that. Okay, so the issue, this may not be an issue because basically the source set is present. So, but I do think maybe we should move the source to the end, and to make sure that the sizes in source set are taken into account. Okay, so basically I'm thinking that, do we have a prop sizes? Yes. What do we do with it? We have our base, and what do we do with sizes? We don't do anything with it. Oh, we just pass it directly through, I guess. So I think that might be actually fine. Might actually be correct. I'll just move the source to the end. And so basically what we're doing with nuxt image, we have the behavior that we're using this computed sizes, and we have a computed, and this is basically generating the smaller version for us. Whereas with nuxt picture, we don't. So we're just using the raw version of the. So okay. So what we want to be able to do is say okay, so basically we want to say and source set and sizes. Okay, so we have our source set and sizes, and that is what is going to handle the load of the main source. So it's not going to be full size when it actually loads. Okay, let's get rid of the only. I just want to run test unit. Yeah, okay. let's update these. Next image, and we need to basically handle the so it looks like maybe this isn't working. Yeah, that's not good enough. We need to actually only do this. I guess. Okay, right. And we'll get rid of that log, which is here. And just for consistency. We'll do it the same way. And we will, oh, we're still doing the only. And I think actually this is still worthwhile doing. So we're going to pull out get image load and use it here. And do the same in next image. Good afternoon. Okay. Yeah, narrating, honestly, sort of streaming I find is incredibly helpful in sort of forcing you to think through. If you don't mind being made into rubber ducks, you know, it is helpful. Okay, and I just, so all of that is done, but I'm pretty sure that when I updated the snapshots, I might have hidden some wrong behaviors. So we want to, I'm just going to grab the placeholder, some of the placeholder tests again, and just pop them down and see what is, what's not working. Okay, so that's our placeholders from the image test. We're going to pop it into the picture test again. And some of these things are obviously totally right. But I just want to see the failures and the diff. Okay, so basically finding, yeah, this we rewrote. So let's abandon that change. We wrote that intentionally. So this test is what we want. So like it's checking the things. Now these things, okay, it's looking for a source. And it's the placeholder is working in a slightly different way. So this doesn't matter so much. Placeholder class. I think that's the main thing. So I think we can actually just delete this and delete that, because all we care about is the class behavior. Cool. Okay, so that's good. So basically there's not a lot of, yeah, so everything else is fine. So I'll just say fix add placeholder class. And test add runtime test for changes. And push that up. Whoops. I'll let my cat in. Hello, hello. Did I push it? I did. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. Oh yes, display never. Yes, what about that? So would it not just be better not to render the source rather than have display never? Because I feel like that is display cat. Thank you for the prompt. That's right. Okay, so basically, why would we? So the cat. Okay, so we want display never. We just don't want it to display, but it shouldn't. Or is the point that it loads? What is our? Shouldn't it be this? Oh no, placeholder is going to be. Wait, if placeholder loaded. Yeah, so we never need to do placeholder and placeholder loaded. Just placeholder. It's kind of you to say, Martin. It's working as the cat intervenes. Right. So. The cat. Hello. Okay. So, oh, thanks for the link. Let's see if I can pull that up. Yeah, the cat she's very sweet. So, we have our type. Is there anything particular? So why should we not render the type? Right, so Yeah, no, I'm seeing it. But why should we not just always render the type? Do you know what I mean? Hey, Undertale. I guess I mean it prevents the browser from loading it, but I guess basically what I'm worried about is that this PR is going to force the loading of one particular source and only then revert to the browser's normal behavior for the picture element. And that feels like it might not be desirable. Like, I guess it depends what that source is. So I need to check in a second when I can actually go back to my keyboard and mouse to see what the source is going to be. Because I would expect, if we had a placeholder, that the last source should be the placeholder. That's what we need to force to display. But it is doing that. It is doing that. What am I talking about? So what's going on, of course, is that we're displaying the placeholder. That is true. No, that is true. That's fine. But we should also be yeah, hi. I mean, I'm sure you have to provide it, or the browser will download it and check. So by setting display never, you force it not to be displayed. But we could also just not render the source, just render an image. Like, I think that would be just as good and less prone to confusion. So the question is why we are, like, what our image behavior is. So shouldn't we render a our main source is going to be the last source. Last source index is the cat is probably, no, I do think I'm gonna have to comment rather than being able to directly merge this. I think that the issue is that it's going to prioritize one source over others. The cat is clicking. The cat has full control of the mouse. The cat is about 7 years old. She's very sweet, and she still totally acts, as far as I'm concerned, like a kitten. Okay, I think I've pushed everything, right? Oh, no, I made some last minute changes. Fix, remove unnecessary check. Cool. Okay, so now we have some changes, which honestly look pretty good. Excellent, Valent. Glad to hear it. So let's just open up, let's actually just open up the playground and see what actually an example would be of this. So we have nuxt picture and I have a placeholder, and let's look at the rendered image. And it has basically two sources here and here. One is Webpack and WebP, and one is avif. And I guess that the issue might be that we never get a load. So let's never set placeholder loaded and just see what happens. Okay, so basically the placeholder stays, and what we have is this. Why is that? So that should be display. Okay, maybe our test is wrong. Okay, picture test. We need to find the placeholder image. I think we want to find, I guess, we want this to be more similar to the image test. And I think I should just be finding the placeholder image using the wrapper. So let's pop that in again and stick it in here one more time. And then one more time, update this to my picture. And then what we want to say is we're looking for the image. And yeah, that is what it should be, right? So why wouldn't it be? Wrapper. Oh, it's here. Find image. Find. Okay, so now the test is a bit better. So basically we're looking for that, and then we're looking for our class list. Oh, I have to mark DOM loaded. Right. So now we have a different thing that is coming in, which I guess is correct. That's the full size thing. Oops. Okay, are people still with me? Oh no, Larry the cat is dying. And Todd, nice to see you. Look, see, if I don't pay attention, then I miss out on exciting developments. Now, Todd, I want to know what's going on. What does life hold for you at the moment? So I got confused because I think at one point you had a career update, and then I think there was another career update that changed your previous update. So, what I want to see is whether that part of the past. I want to see whether if we exactly. Who doesn't love a cat, right? Like I feel that's unfair on any prime minister. Right, what was I going to do? I was wanting to see if... Oh, yeah, I was wanting to actually test this again. Let's run that dev server one more time. And I want to throw in what would be something that I think would break it. I want to try and break the behavior. So if we have our placeholder, but say there's an issue with any of these WebP versions, like the browser doesn't support them. So I want to block image requests for them. So let's just block request URL, and we'll have a little pattern of anything with a JPEG star. So let's refresh the page, and we never load. It is always a pleasure to have you here. Do these images have alt attributes? This is just a test suite. So we're testing the behavior. They probably don't, but we're testing the behavior of like the placeholder loading. They basically render normal images, so people have to provide their own alt attributes. So what I'm trying to do, so basically if the placeholder never loads, if the WebP, no, that I was just blocking the JPEG. So what if it does load? So let's go back to the URLs and basically remove that pattern. And I want to see what images load, like what is actually happening in that case. So we have several images loading, which is a problem. Oh, no, that's the blur. And then we have the AVIF and the JPEG load. And so what is actually being displayed there in the end is the AVIF. So basically this implements this basically loads. Yeah, there's a problem. It overloads. It loads too many images. So yeah, that's the comment. Basically, let's comment it here. That we end up loading more images than necessary. So main source will load, but then if there is another source that better suits browser needs, e.g. if webp, this will swap in and we will have downloaded twice as much image data as we need. Do you have any ideas for resolving that? Maybe using a picture element as placeholder? Actually, that is the solution, right? We need to use a picture element as placeholder and basically render all of this. So what we would want to do, let's try this. And first, let's write a test to make sure this is going to work properly. And then we need to solve it. So, or we can do them in parallel. So, so you could try nuxt movies or nuxt hacker news. And we have a number of demo projects. So nuxt movies is a good one to try. There's the hacker news and so on. Frozen Spirit is already ahead of me. Okay, so instead of an image, so basically in our nuxt picture component, we basically do a new image. What we should do, can we do a new picture? That's probably the thing to do. Do a picture element with all the same sources. Yeah, I think that's a... Okay, I think I've spent enough time on nuxt image maintenance, and I even think we could probably release the current work as a patch, and then move on to do some other stuff a bit later on. Okay, let's mark that as ready for review. Oh, what have you built? Question.nuxt.dev. Very cool. Okay, let's have a look. I love it. Immediately nice background, very minimal. I'm going to log in. Oh, this is cool. This is very cool. So live stream, and we'll say sample live stream Q&A, and we'll keep it open until today. Cool. So now I can do what? Is there a URL I can grab? Maybe? Let's see. What happens if I open that in an incognito tab? Oh. Oh, I see. It's okay. So it's an open one, and ooh, preview and share. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. Okay, okay, people. Let's do it. Let's do it. So there you go. If you want to ask any question, I mean, to be fair, we already have a chat, but there's no actual need for this. But this is extremely, will this just, is it a WebSocket? Will it just update if anybody asks something? Or do I have to refresh? Someone ask a question so I know it's working. I have to refresh it. Yes. It's cool. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you probably have a single ref for this modal, but it probably needs to be per question. Very cool. I love it. I love it. Honestly, yeah, clear the form would also be fine, right? And it might be nice to be able to edit your answer. But it is very, like, it's very nice. Like it feels like this is good.